What a spectacular, beautiful day in Nagasaki. Here's the Peace Park where they commemorate the anniversaries every year on August 9th. We're going to be walking from here in this direction all the way past the Urakami Cathedral to the One Legged Torii. And you're going to learn a lot about Nagasaki in this episode. If you're thinking about coming here, this might help you quite a bit. This is the Peace Park. And I don't know, the walk says it's going to take about 18 minutes. I guarantee you we're going to get lost. 20 minutes or so. There's a stairway that we're going to be starting. You can see the Urakami Cathedral is so beautiful right now because of the blue skies. So I'm looking forward to this walk. If we hit our goal, I'll stop off and get a vending machine drink along the way. But let's get moving. Let's just do it. It's interesting though, because all these tour guides, they come through here. Some of the groups are massive. Most of them are cruise ships. I can't believe how many people get off of these mega cruise ships that dock every single morning. There's been a new one, which has been interesting to see. This sculpture is such an iconic one for the city of Nagasaki here. A word from the sculptor here: after experiencing the nightmarish war, the blood-curdling carnage, that unendurable horror, who could walk away without praying for peace? This statue was created as a herald for the struggle for global harmony. Standing 10 meters tall, it conveys the profundity of knowledge and the beauty of health and virility. The right hand points to the atomic bomb, the left hand points to peace, and the face is a solemn prayer to the victims of the war. Transcending the barriers of race, evoking the qualities of both Buddha and God, is a symbol of the greatest determination ever known in the history of Nagasaki. It's a pretty amazing statue when you hear that from the sculptor. Pointing up to the bomb and the other hand pointing to peace. I can get down with that. After talking with Survivor yesterday, I certainly need a nice relaxing walk, because when you hear the horrors of what happened here on that day, it can be overwhelming. Very much so. And I'm looking forward to sharing this in a main channel episode. The pictures, I'll share it with you as long as we walk here, of the interview that I did with Yokoyama-san. I'm adding it right now to the queue of things that we're going to show you along this walk. This back way, I don't know if a lot of people know this. I've been walking around here for hours, yesterday, the day before, and today. But on the backside, you get this beautiful view of the Urakami Cathedral. And Nagasaki has a very large Catholic population. The Catholicism, Christianity is quite big here. It had a very big Western influence back in the 17th century when the Dutch came. They expelled the Portuguese because they always tried to convert the Japanese, but the Dutch did not. So there's a lot of that culture that still remains. During the Meiji Restoration, Dejima, the island, I believe the foreigners didn't have to stay there anymore. They could come and settle on the mainland. And then you got cathedrals like this. This is I believe a recreation in the 1950s. The original, of course, was destroyed in the atomic bombing. The wall was moved over to the Hypocenter Park, but it's a beautiful cathedral. Not something that you would see on a Japanese city in many places. We're going to walk down these steps here. You can see some of the sakura. I think that's a Kawazu Sakura, famous in Shizuoka. I think there's so many varieties of them. All right, let's get moving. We're going to walk down the steps here. This is such a peaceful city in more ways than one. Hey, Nico's here. Nico is my one postcard club member in Greenland, of all places, which is such a beautiful place. Kanai and I have been talking about it. We got to go visit Nico in Greenland. Nice to see you here, Nico. Wow, look at that tree. That's beautiful. Japanese spring is just around the corner. The cherry blossoms Some Yoshino are not even close to blooming. I don't see any buds at all. So it's going to be about 2 weeks. I think it's going to, it might be late this year. I don't know. This is a really hard one to predict because we had a cold spell. But the weather has turned warm again. This is the way it goes. The low pressure system is out and the weather is now warm again. And now the buds are going to start maybe peeking out and going, is the coast clear? And it is right now. But I'm sure we're going to have another cold day because it was snowing yesterday in Tokyo, I was told by Kanai, which is crazy. This is the last we're going to see at the cathedral over there. That's worth a stop as well if you're in Nagasaki for a couple of days. Walking around, getting lost, with a guide perhaps, is a good idea. Now the guide I'm going to be meeting tomorrow. I won't live stream it, but I'll be filming it for the main channel episode. He's his nickname is Mac, and he lived in the United States, and he can speak English, and he's been in Nagasaki, I think, for 60 years. So it's going to be interesting to get a local's point of view on a tour guide of this area. Okay, I haven't walked down that way, right in Pong Kotsu Ben. Well, Ben, hopefully I don't get lost here. Okay, I have maps here to make sure I don't get lost. Doesn't mean a lot though. All right, let's look at this real quickly just to make sure I go in the correct direction. All right, go down the steps and take a right and just go straight. How hard could that be? So this, I have to be honest with you, this looks like every other Japanese city in the entire country with those phone lines up above. The roads, the signs. That's what's kind of great about Japan and kind of annoying. You get the signage here is pretty important. So the belfry is still there. There's Urakami. A lot of people up visiting right now. I've noticed that Nagasaki is also a city of canals. There's so many of them that are going underneath the city. Where I'm staying over on near Glover Street, a lot of canals that aren't apparent at first, but it seems like a lot of the city is raised above as a port city, the water going underneath a lot of the places. So we're just gonna walk straight here until we get to another marker that tells us we're going in the right direction. Now, if we take a look at the Google Maps here, I set this up so you get a nice overview of where I am in Nagasaki. There's Tokyo right there, and Osaka and Shikoku, and now we're on the island of Kyushu. Nagasaki's on the far west side. It's pretty much isolated from other places. You can see the city surrounded by mountains. It's really beautiful in here. And this is where we started up there. There's the statue of the Peace Park and that stairway. And this is where we're going right now. We're walking down that street in this direction. And my hope is that I don't get lost and I make it to Sano Shrine, which I'm not sure. Sometimes it doesn't happen. Even on the Google Earth, I'm kind of looking for it. I think there it is right there. Sano Shrine and the One Legged Torii Gate. The atomic bomb blew one of the legs off, but for 80 years it still stands on one leg, which is in itself pretty incredible. And there's Sano Shrine. Aiken is here. Thanks, John. What's the climate like in Nagasaki compared to Tokyo? I'm gonna say it feels like it's warmer, Aiken. It feels like it's warmer today, but sometimes it's similar. It can be colder because it is on the Sea of Japan side. I think the Pacific might be more temperate weather. It's hard, I don't know. But I would expect it to be warmer than Tokyo, but that's not always the case. It's a hard thing. This is a pretty little street here. I think that's a supermarket over there. Yeah, I went to one of the chains of that supermarket near Glover Street where I was staying. I can get some yogurt and some of the delicious strawberries. Neighboring Fukuoka Prefecture and Saga have some of the best strawberries in Japan. It's so good. So I could get that at the supermarket. And there were no tourists in there, which is even better. All right, we're gonna say bye to the Urakami Church, the cathedral. That's the last we're gonna see of it. Here's a delicious looking cafe right here on the corner, Juma Cafe. Oh, it smells like something's frying up real good. A lot of local businesses like this. You see there's another cafe over there. I like this, a vibe. A lot of business owners have opened up shops in these older buildings. So that's kind of nice to see. You can smell it. It smells so good. I haven't had breakfast because I usually skip it, but not so exciting walking down the street. But you can see a lot of things when you do this instead of taking buses and cars, and you just walk. Look at this place, Mammy. That looks like a really pretty, like Italian kind of a looking place here. Nobody in there yet. It's still early. The Urakami Christian Museum. It's interesting. Supermarket bento might sound good. Just 2 days ago, I went to Finds Takeda, who was one of my favorite Instagram reel creators. I guess TikTokers, I guess you could say something like that. Some crazy guys. They know how to sell food over there. Yesterday, I talked with Yokoyama-san. I told you about that, guys. And she shared the story. I'll share some of the photos with you from it. This is going to be the main channel episodes. Yokoyama-san was showing me her family photos here. She explained the stories to me. They're really deep stuff. I was in tears. She cried one time, and I think it's just because the memories well up. It's hard not to, because when you're telling a story in your mind, you can see that past, and I guess that's when an authentic story is being told. You have a lot of feelings to it, and at the end we took a nice photo here. There's yours truly. I didn't realize, I put it on the tripod, I didn't realize I was that much taller. But there you go. So I hope that this interview will be quite a nice addition to the episode, because it really lays out a different point of view. And today at 2 o'clock, I'm going to be interviewing another Hibakusha survivor who lives about 20 kilometers outside the city of Nagasaki. But it takes me, for some reason, like 45 minutes to drive there. And he has a different point of view. So I think it's really important to get those different points of views so you can kind of understand, not kind of, but really grasp what happened on that day and the months and years that followed, because, man, atomic bombs are nuclear weapons. That's one thing. Regular bombs, all bombs are bad, but this one, it doesn't just hit you on the day, it hits you and keeps on hitting. Why am I winded? Why? I'm not in that bad shape. I guess one thing I've noticed, Nagasaki's got a lot of hills. A lot of hills. It said 20 minutes. Was that 20 minutes ago? I think I'm somewhere in between now. It's interesting. A lot of this is just regional places. Check it out. Just like, residential areas. It's like a really big residential area. A lot of people that are staying there. I'm gonna walk up here. There's a river over there. Is that a river? I don't know what it is. No, I guess it's just a parking lot. There are a lot of trees here. It's just beautiful. I like that. After I come back to the Peace Park, after I take a look at Sano Shrine, I'm going to be looking for the trees that were impacted. One of the things that they did one of the things that happened after the atomic bombing was a survey of the damage, and there was a surveyor who assessed how the flow of the bomb went, because it detonated 500 meters or 1,650 feet up in the sky, and the force that came downwards and pushed out. And he could figure out so much of this by looking at the damage. And the trees told a story. And I want to see if I can go and find some of those trees that are still here, because how they survived, it gives us all hope that, when something tragic like that, you can look to the trees to keep on growing and keep life going, despite what happened. Many of those trees are still here, so I'll try and find them. Good morning. Carol's here. Ramsey Silent writes in here 13 minutes so far. That was 3 minutes ago. I think so. By the way, I started at 50% battery, so I'm not even sure if the battery's going to live too long. This is an iPhone 14 that I haven't changed the battery ever, so I think it's at like 80% of its original state. All this, again, would have been completely obliterated in the atomic bomb. And after 80 years, it really has turned into a beautiful city. I think afterwards, and you can see there's a hill and an observatory. I'm going to try to get a night view of Nagasaki tonight. It's going to be so beautiful with the sunset, I think, with the clear skies today. But the surrounding hills offer one of the most beautiful night views of a city, perhaps anywhere in the world. I'm not joking. Hakodate and Nagasaki, and I think there might be one other Japanese city, has an extraordinarily beautiful view in the daytime and at night as well. So I'm going to see if I can find that, go head there at sunset and get a nice view of the city, and then one of the dark, perhaps make a postcard out of it for the postcard club. Charge the battery, yes. No, I haven't changed the battery, meaning every 2 years or so you can go to the Apple store and they'll change the battery, which is a good idea, and then the charge will last longer. I've charged this more than 300 times, maybe about 800 times. So one full charge is only 80% of what it used to be. So the battery does not last, I think it lasts like half of that now. And that's not ideal for live streaming. So getting a new battery might be something that I consider doing next week, because I don't see any reason to buy a new iPhone ever. I think they did pretty good with this one. It's a pretty quiet street. I thought there'd be like convenience stores and stuff along the way, but Cobra Bebop says, I still have an iPhone XS and the battery doesn't last all day anymore. Yeah, exactly. And I've abused my battery by live streaming constantly, having it on as a navigation system in the car plugged in. So I'm sure the battery's like, I want to retire. Sam, that's a good question. I actually am trying to get get access to a school that was also, I think it was one of the elementary schools here that was bombed. It was very close to the hypocenter, and the school stayed intact and people survived. Kids survived. And that school has now there's some vending machines over there. I'm tempted to, but every time I go off of the main street here, I get lost, so maybe not quite yet. But they have they do guided tours, the kids do, and one of the things that I want to get in this episode is that it's really up to that next generation of younger Nagasakans Nagasakians, Nagasakiites, I don't know how you would say it, to preserve that legacy of peace. And the hibakusha, again, I think I said this yesterday, but for a very long time they did not talk about the atomic bomb in their experience. And I think it was just over the course of the last 20, 25 years, perhaps, associations were started to talk more about it, to get the message out. I think it might have been in the 80s when proliferation was really going on with nuclear weapons, and their voices became stronger and stronger, and they won the Nobel Peace Prize, one of the organizations that represents them, in 2024, which is a great thing. It's really encouraging, whether you think that Nobel Peace Prize means anything at all. All I know is that it's kind of cool to be recognized for your work. And look at these stairs here. Wow. That is a really beautiful place here. Ahmed, thank you so much from United Arab Emirates. I appreciate that. That will help pay for the parking. I parked at the same place. And maybe get me hydrated here. See if we could stop off at a vending machine in a second. It's so serene. You can hear the birds chirping. It's still morning. It's, what is it, like 10:15 or so? 10:30? So it's still morning. I got up at 6 to start to film the opening. That's the one where I have to nail the script and I have to get you to watch. If I do a good job with it, I will have convinced you to keep watching until the end of the episode, which is then when the video will do well. If you don't watch, then the video does poorly, and I fail on my mission to help the stories of the hibakusha. I want them to watch. I want everybody to watch to the end, so more people can see it, so it gets recommended by YouTube. So there's just really fine balance of thinking in how to make an episode work. Like, I would love to do the interviews unedited, but I know that if it's not edited, people will tune out, thus destroying the chance that more people will be able to see the message. So it's really hard to do YouTube. I'm guessing it's just straight here. All right, so this is it. This is, okay, I see the crosswalk over here. There's the University Hospital. Ramsey's Island, coming in for the coffee time. Thank you, Ramses. You can hear the peepongs that lets people that are visually impaired or blind to be able to navigate the street, to know which side of the street is actually peeponging, so that they can walk without being hit by a car. It actually works quite well. Wow, gold python! And it's just a door, like an easy speak. Wonder what happens inside a gold python after dark. But I don't wonder enough to actually go. I just wonder enough to casually say, that's interesting. Let's move on. I like these images. 2 kids playing with a rabbit and a dog. Is it a cat? Is that a hamster? The Ferrari public bar over there. Nice. Produced by Heiji. Who'd be that? All right, I know we're in the right direction. This is Sano Street, so this is all really good stuff. One thing I've noticed about Nagasaki, they don't have manhole covers like colorful manhole colors like a lot of the other cities in Japan. Oh wait, here's a photo here. I've been trying really hard to take pictures of these photos, which I can use. So it says here, the front gates of the Nagasaki Medical Hospital. I'll zoom into the picture here. The front gate of the hospital was located around 700 meters from the Hypo Center, and there was a small ditch 100 meters wide between the hospital and the university campus on August 1st, 1945. 3 people were killed in the air raid by American bombers on that day. The 3-story reinforced concrete building withstood the blasts, but inside was completely destroyed by fire, killing 230 doctors and nurses in addition to around 200 patients. Wow. So despite the building being intact, okay, the fires inside killed a lot of doctors and patients, all of whom would have been super helpful to be able to take care of the sick and wounded on that day, and there were a lot of them. But most people around the Hypo Center just perished or vanished. There's the front of the hospital there. All right, we're almost there. Hey, I cannot believe I did not get lost. I did this quite well. We did this very well. We've walked almost 1 kilometer from the Urakami Cathedral. So this is good stuff. This is good. Good news. All right, just walk on, go straight. Apparently we'll see signs for this one-legged torii. Whew. 5-toed sloth bear and Mo's space life is giving me a pat on the back, and I kind of needed it. Thank you. Oh look, Kanae, Nagasaki Kanae. That's my wife's name. Kabushiki Gaisha Nagasaki Kanae. Hey, she could do Tokyo Kanae and be a branch of them. Well, why would she be a branch of them? I guess because they share the same name. It looks like they're doing some kind of medical equipment. Ario's got the emoji. They're doing a medical equipment here. Thank you, Ario. That was good. Carrie Larson, there you go. Oh, there's a ramen shop across the street. Momotaro. That's the kanji for Momo, or Peach Boy. This ramen shop's called Peach Boy. It's a tale from Okayama, but we're seeing it here in Nagasaki. It's a pretty good tale. Little Peach Boy takes on the demons with his monkey friend. He had a bunch of other friends too. Look at this tree. This is beautiful. And the flowers planted on the base of it, protected from cats from going pee-pee on it. That's probably why. And it doesn't have leaves, but it's got like this green life off of it. That's pretty unique, right? Anybody seen anything like this before? It looks like the tree is like a stump going into the, right? Isn't that bizarre? It's like right on the wires there. That's stunning. Tiffany, yeah, that's what I'm, exactly. It's like right up on the power wires and the telephone wires and stuff. No leaves on it, but it's alive. I don't know if that's safe or not, but it sure makes. There's a couple across the street. I'm guessing that these are trees from the bombing. I don't know. All of them are following the streets here, or could it be part of the shrine? The shrine is taking care of these. Do you think? Because we're only about 100 meters away from the shrine. Here's another one. They look like ferns. Yeah. And there's vegetation growing on it. So whether it's alive or not doesn't matter. It's got life all, well, it does matter, but it's got life all around it. including telephone poles. There's some more across the street. Like, it's the little things that really stick out. You know, you have to look at the details of this stuff. It's easy to walk by it, but that's fascinating to me. It goes all down the street, so it's on purpose. That tree is giving me Dr. Seuss vibes, right? It's in Kenya. Yeah, sort of. It does. It certainly, maybe because it's still kind of winter. Technically it is until March 21st. Spring has not sprung. A lot of trees don't have any leaves on them yet, but it does feel like a surreal. I don't think that they're fake, Sean. I don't think so, because if you look at the base of it, it's certainly got roots in there that's messing up the bricks. I don't think that fake trees do that. That's a root dent down there. That's real. All right, we've arrived. Awesome. Here's a vending machine. I don't see anything interesting in there. Hey, did we hit our target yet? My YouTube partner manager told me I should do these targets to see if it works or not. Let's go up here. That is quite amazing, and there's not anybody there. Wow. Wow. So half of it remains, and it's been like that for the last 80 years. Since August 9th, 1945, 11:02 a.m. The Torii Gate has been just half. That's, wow. Okay, here's a story here. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be stone either. I didn't know too much about it. So you can see that's what it looked like on August 9th, 1945. Here, I'll read this to you. It's history. The arch was built in October 1924 as the second Torii arch at the Sano Shinto Shrine. The explosion of the atomic bomb at 11:02 a.m., August 9th, 1945, slapped down one of the pillars. Located only 800 meters southeast of the hypocenter, the upper parts of the arches were scorched black by the fierce radiating heat. One of the pillars and its upper parts were destroyed by the blast, and the top part, the crossbeam, shifted in the opposite direction as a result of the blast pressure. Wow, it spun it around. An explosion of a single atomic bomb reduced the surrounding neighborhood to ashes and rubble, but the arch endured the blast and continues to this day to stand on one pillar as though testifying to the atomic bomb devastation. The base of the pillar and its adjoining parts have been reinforced to ensure safety. Nagasaki City installs this plaque as a prayer for the response in the souls of the people who died here and to ensure that the tragedy is never repeated. This is a theme that I see a lot. This is never repeated. It's one of the city's biggest missions. And I think that's a reason to visit Nagasaki. That's one of many reasons. The one thing that after living here for 20 some years, my gosh, I see Nagasaki as a place of really good food, of so many different things than just the atomic bomb. But I think if you're coming from the West and you've studied the history of it, that might be where you first heard it. And it's not something you talk about a lot, but in Japan, you hear it on the news and you talk about it because it's a major city, you know, it's a big city here. It's a prefectural capital city, so one of Japan's 47, so this is a significant place. It is really amazing that here it stands as a testament, and it hasn't moved. The blast pushed it. It knocked out the one pillar and then pushed like a flag. And there's not a soul around here. If this were Hiroshima, this would have so many tourists around it. Not to saying that that's bad. Hiroshima is doing so well with tourism. But there are two people right there. Wow. And you can see they've built like residential apato, just like living quarters around it. Imagine living around such a piece of history. Tiffany Bob's here. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, John, for showing us the history that a lot of us will never get to experience in person. Well, I hope that one day you guys can make it here, but it's my pleasure. It's my honor here. This is the what it looked like before. This is a photo from 1939. You can see it's the same gate, the remains of it. Just this side, and this side was, oh, hold on a second. This is the side that remains. This side was just blown away from the atomic bomb. That's quite amazing. Wow. What do you guys think of this? I really wanted to come here and try to experience this, because I think it's one thing to see it in a picture in a book. It's another thing to stand and walk around it, to be in front of it. And one thing I love about the live stream is that these are unedited videos. You're seeing it live with me as well as I'm seeing it. It's pretty incredible. So I'm going to pan up really slowly so you can look at this Torii Gate that is seen a lot. There's some writing on it, some etching. It has been reinforced, but it's of course, the original. And there's where the break took place right there. Wow. That's a lot of power to do something like that. Bonkotsu Ben, it is my honor to be here in your city, so thank you for that. You basically paid for my visit here, for the airfare, so I'm so appreciative of this. Wow. It's a lot. Chua. Amanda Main. Thank you. That's why I support your channel. One, you help people understand the culture, but also with someone who suffered a back injury, I'm unable to travel. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, in that case, I'm gonna take you all over the country then, as much as I possibly can, and share with you the history and the culture, just like you would too. Today you're learning about Nagasaki. Wait, so, okay. I didn't even know this one. Sometimes it takes you a second to assess it, but this is the rest. So the map there had the numbers. The numbers correspond here. Sometimes you just have to figure it out. The numbers correspond to the pieces that are laid out right here. So the rest of the Torii Gate was brought back and lined up here, probably sitting here as the day that they found it. They probably started to, a few weeks after, start to clean up after the surrender, which was a few days after. It should have been immediate. It should have happened before Hiroshima. Should have happened right before the firebombing of Tokyo on March. We could have saved a lot of lives. That's what hurts the most, I think. Too many people lost the war was over. Here's the other part of the gate there. Do you see the top of the Torii Gate? You can tell from the slope of it here, and where it broke off. Time has worn it down. 80 years is a significant amount of time, a lot of water, sunshine, all the other elements of it. And you can see it's just in pieces. So the amount of force is just, it's fantastic. It's awful. And fantastic, by the way, it doesn't always mean a positive thing. It's just something that's very large. What somebody told me anyways. This is so beautiful. I love this. I don't want to be too invasive here. I just want to kind of show you around. I'm not going to go into the shrine. You have to respect the sanctity of the shrine. This is where people pray. But this is one of the most beautiful. This is something out of a Ghibli movie. Just to put it mildly, look at the trees. This is Totoro's doing. Oh my goodness. How could you not visit this in Nagasaki? Sano Shrine is so beautiful. Look at that. Wow. You are absolutely entering another world. Between these two trees. Wow. All right, I'm just gonna walk up here. Don't go down the middle, stay to the side. The middle is reserved for Kami-sama. I don't have a permit to film, so I'm not going to go very deep in there. I don't want to disturb anybody. Wow. This is, to me, this is Japan to me. It's not the city, Akihabara, the sounds, the Yamanote line, all the buzz. It's that connection with nature that people have here in Japan. That's when you start to really understand Japanese culture. It's like that right there. Wow. Look at that tree. 17.6 meters high, and this one is 21 meters high. That is a very, very big, powerful tree, and obviously it was burned. Look at that. Are these burns from the atomic bombing? Perhaps, I don't know. I'm sure that it was impacted by the atomic bombing in some way. Maybe the tree was healed. Or the burn marks, the damage of it was repaired by the shrine. Wow, that is one heck of a tree. It's up there too. So if it was hit by the atomic bomb, it obviously grew back. You can't take the life from a tree that easy. The Torii Gate made of stone was destroyed, but half of it was. But this tree is still here, growing strong. Yeah, nature said, no thank you, I am stronger. I agree with that. Let's see, there's some English explanation here for you guys to take a look. Let's see if we can read it here. The giant camphor camphor tree of Sano Shinto Shrine. These two camphor trees, which have a trunk circumference of 8 to 6 meters, are among the largest trees in the city. The trees were broken at the upper portion of the trunk as a result of the 1945 atomic bombing, and thus are now only 10 meters in height. But the branches have flourished to form a huge canopy measuring 40 meters east to west and 25 meters north to south. Although stripped of leaves and almost killed by the atomic bombing, the trees eventually budded and regained their vitality. No thank you, nature is stronger. Yeah, I like that they have like little stairways where you can get a little bit closer to the tree. Let's do that. Wow. And they put a screen here. I guess people were... You can see some rocks in there. I don't know if that's from the atomic bombing or what, but it's, keep people out and birds out. It's probably less for people and more for keep birds from making a house in there. But this tree that was suffered through the atomic bombing, look at it. Look at the leaves. You can't destroy Mother Nature that easy. Wow. From the ashes and dust from those that were lost, life sprung up again. So their spirit is in this tree. And we're looking at it 80 years later, and here it is. It's growing strong. Amazing. They said it would take 75 years for the city to be habitable again. They were wrong. You can't destroy the spirit of a city that easy, I think. Wow, that was wonderful. I'm glad I came. I'm glad I walked up here. Take a look at this. This is a reminder of that, a really strong reminder of what happened 80 years ago. This year marks the 80th remembrance of that day, and it's going to be something that's going to be in the news quite a bit in a few months, and I'll have this main channel episode up for you. I think in July. The interviews are going to be really harsh, and they're hard to edit, but not just because they're very, very long, but they're also really hard to translate because it's emotional stuff. It's not something I can make a mistake on, you know. I can't make a mistake on this one. So there's some pressure. I can feel some pressure. All right, here's a photo of the trees. And you can see the devastation. It's hard to see. It looks like a relief painting, but there's a tree standing in devastation behind it. It's hard to make out. I'm sure on the internet there's probably a better photo of it. All right, let's go get a vending machine drink. I promised you guys, and I shall deliver. They're the paper cranes, which is also a symbol of the atomic bombings. Wow. Yeah, I'm really curious to see how the schools are, in particular in Nagasaki, teaching this to help them remember and teach this going forward, because those that were here that day that survived have not forgotten. And again, one reason I'm making this episode is because I'm so fearful that when those voices are gone that we will forget. And this is my part as someone who's been living here for so long, to give back to Japan, to my home here, a voice. So the voices will always be here, at least on this channel, as long as YouTube and I'm around. And I'll probably give it to Leo and say, you better upload this video on another platform. You keep this going. It's up to you, Leo. So he's gonna have to do that. It'll be in the will. Take my archives and upload it to a new channel. Keep it going. The history. Carrie, I gotta update that photo. I thought I had. All right, let's go get a vending machine drink or something. I'm kind of I gotta walk back to the car the way I came, so it's gonna be quite a ways. Leo said, "Yes, Daddy." Probably. He's at school now. I flew here. The easiest way to get to Nagasaki is to fly. There's a lot of cheap flights, so it's less than 2 hours. If you take the train, it's gonna be like 9 hours. So, yeah, there you go. I don't know, I'm inclined to get a coffee. I don't really like the sugar in the coffee. You know, this Emerald blend is a classic. They've had that since the start of time. But sometimes you just want a black coffee. One, because it's hot, and two, I have 1 yen coins and I only have 100. I noticed in Nagasaki they don't have IC cards, so you have to put. Oh, it's nice and warm. From Conan. Milk tea, they have it, royal milk tea. It's kind of changed a little bit. They use it in the cans instead of the plastic, I believe. The story about the microplastics is starting to get around. People are wanting to drink it in cans. But really, something that's been heated for a very long time, probably not the greatest in a plastic. Ah, this is my first coffee. Thank you, Ponkotsu Ben, and everybody else. All right, otsukare-sama. That's good coffee. A little watery. I'm American. What do they say? They say Americano is weak coffee. Ah, that hits the spot. That was nice. All right, guys, so there you go. There's the One Legged Torii Gate. Walk there. Five-toed sloth bear, thank you so much. You are very welcome. I'm going to take you at night tonight, I think, on a walk around. So, and maybe the night view. I'll see if I can get that for you. There's a 7-Eleven down the street. So I'll take you on another walk. So we're going to probably get two or three more live streams in Nagasaki for you. I think it's great. I don't get here too often, but I'm going to be back here probably in April. And I think Ponkotsu Ben, you're not paying for the next plane ticket over, so thank you. That's real kind of you. Blessed are the peacemakers. Best wishes from Texas, John. You're doing good work making these videos. Take care. Thank you, Cobra Bebop. The Lone Star State. Get something to eat. You're looking weak from walking those hills. My hotel had, I didn't really eat. I've been eating. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been eating these for dinner. Kakuni. These are really good in Nagasaki. It's like a piece of pork belly in the steamed bun. They're really good. I'm admitting I'm eating for dinner. This is maybe it's not the healthiest thing, but I feel like, hey, it's Nagasaki. It's what the tourists eat, apparently. And I made friends with the two people who work at the store across from the hotel. So they always looking forward. So the last few days they've been going. They know my name now. They're like, hey, John. So now I feel like I got to go there for dinner again tonight. They're pretty good salesmen. Nagasaki is just a really friendly place. You know, somebody asked me yesterday, how would you compare Nagasaki and Hiroshima? I think Nagasaki has tourists. A lot of them come from the cruise ships. They don't have a lot of people coming as backpackers and travelers in the same way as Hiroshima does. Hiroshima is too many. Hiroshima has too many tourists right now. It is really, I mean, the lineup for the Peace Museum is insane. So if you come to Nagasaki, you get, I mean, it's a different experience. It's a different bomb. It's a different part of history. But maybe visit both of them. The first place, atomic bombs were used. And the last place, atomic bombs were used. And after talking with people in Nagasaki about this, the prayers are very strong that it stays that way, that their legacy is that this is the last place on earth. And I think that's a strong legacy. Everybody remembers the first, and I think everybody in this case should remember the last. And we don't want any more Nagasaki's and Hiroshimas, and I mean that in the sense of the bombing, because this is such a beautiful, beautiful city. There's the One Legged Torii Gate. We made it here. Didn't get lost. Thanks, guys, for guiding me, and thanks for the super chats and the support. I really love you guys, and I'll be finishing this black coffee. It's platinum black. I don't get a gold medal, I get a platinum medal. Platinum black. I won't be going to Gunkanjima. That's the island that's out there. I'm focusing just on this story. But if I come back in April, I might get a chance to go out there. I don't know. I'd love to work with Nagasaki to try to tell some more of these stories. There's so many stories in the city. They have to do a lot more than just the bombing. There's Dejima. There's the recreation of Dejima. There's a beautiful place that it's very cheap. I think it was like 500 or 600 yen to get in. But beautiful place, beautiful city. Thanks, everybody. See you again maybe tonight. I'm pretty sure tonight for a live stream down another part of Nagasaki. Madane. No unique manholes here. They're all kind of all the same, kind of usual manhole covers. Thanks for asking about that, USS J. Matane.